All right, y'all, welcome to the show. I don't know how I feel about today's outfit. Can I get a L or a W in the comments? I don't know, man. I don't know. I used to have a shirt like this that was like pink stripes, and I sort of rocked with that one more. This one's yellow. I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm feeling it. Crystal hates the patterns that are like the straight lines. For some reason, she hates like stripes. Don't know why, but yeah, I'm not sure I'm feeling this shirt either. But anyway, let me know in the chat. Random beginning to the show. I'm feeling kind of weird. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about a new corruption scandal. The other day we talked about how Jared Kushner took $2 billion from Saudi Arabia. And come to find out, oh, would you look at that? He made a little bit of a deal ski with the theocratic dictator to get that $2 billion, including potentially showing him classified information, which led to the torturing and killing of his, people who were dissidents in Saudi Arabia. So kind of a problem. Now we got more on that, particularly in regards to the big man, Donald Trump himself. I have Jordan Peterson's take on the manosphere, and it may surprise you. It may surprise you just a wee bit. And then later on in the show, some terrifying new numbers about how terrible our healthcare system is and how much people are putting off getting care because of the cost. So let's go ahead and kick it off here. So Sarah Lee Whitson reported on this story, breaking multi-million-dollar payments from Live Golf, reportedly 93% owned by MBS-controlled fund, so that's the theocratic dictator of Saudi Arabia, to Trump golf resorts raise serious questions about conflicts of interest, threats to national security. So she explains here, and by the way, she used to be with Human Rights Watch, so she's like all over stuff like this. She explains here that there is a lawsuit currently going on between Live Golf, which is the new Saudi golf tour, the breakaway Saudi golf tour, and the PGA Tour. And, because of that trial, one of the lawyers accidentally released the information that, you have Saudi Arabia owns 93% of the Live Golf Tour. So they don't really have many, if any, honestly, outside investors. It's just all run by Saudi Arabia. And so the golfers who work for Live Golf, they're paid directly from Saudi Arabia. But more importantly, and again, we just learned this because of this lawsuit, now we know. Before it was speculation, people weren't sure, but now we know as a matter of fact that Trump is making millions of dollars off of this Saudi golf tour, which means he's taking millions of dollars directly from the Saudi government, because they're having a number of those Live Golf events at Trump properties. There's a variety of his properties are used for these Saudi events. And he was like, hey, man, sweet. Make it rain on me. Give me as much money as you want. I'd love it. And look, of course, this leads to serious ethics violations and considerations for 2024. I mean, the guy's running for president again as he's taking millions from Saudi Arabia. Guys, there's this thing in the Constitution called the Emoluments Clause, which says if you're a president, you cannot take money from foreign governments. It is out of the question. Now, look, it's sketchy enough taking money at like running a business, running a corporation when you're president, because there's also, you introduce conflicts of interest. You introduce questions about bribery and corruption. And that's why, you guys know this fact, I've told you a million times, but Jimmy Carter had to sell his peanut farm when he was president because there were concerns, hey, maybe, but maybe not, but maybe you're going to have, companies give him money through that, and then he's going to do favors for the companies. You're going to have foreign governments give him money through that, and then he does favors for these foreign governments. And here we have a situation which is beyond absurd. I mean, this is comical. We used to talk all the time about the Clinton Foundation, and you know who else talked about the Clinton Foundation? Donald Trump. We said, this stuff is so corrupt. You have Hillary Clinton, you have Bill Clinton. They're taking millions and millions of dollars from foreign governments, and then Hillary's Secretary of State, they're doing favors for these countries, and that is not okay, folks. That is corruption. That is bribery. That is disgusting. This is not America first. And then now Trump has taken it above and beyond the Clinton Foundation. When Jared Kushner takes $2 billion from Saudi Arabia, what do you think is going to happen? What did happen? We already know this. They looked the other way when they killed Jamal Khashoggi and chopped him into little bits and pieces. A journalist. They were like, well, what are you going to do? Trump gave them a multi-billion-dollar weapons deal as they were funneling him money through his DC hotel. Trump vetoed legislation that was going to stop the U.S. from supporting the genocide in Yemen. So we give Saudi Arabia money and weapons and our planes, and we helped them with intelligence, and they were bombing innocent people there. Mike Lee and Bernie Sanders put a stop to that. Then Trump said, no, I'm putting a stop to you putting a stop to it. I'm on the side of the genociders. And then now they've put it on steroids. So now they are totally beholden to the Saudis. This is the same dude who was like, I'm going to drain the swamp. Drain the swamp. Drain the swamp. This is the polar opposite of draining the swamp. This is draining the swamp in your mouth. That's what this is. This guy is the swamp. This guy is a swamp creature. It's astonishing. So now we know he's taken millions and millions of dollars. By the way, I can't wait. They didn't get the exact figure from this leak from this attorney, but we're going to learn it eventually. And, you know, I guarantee you it's over $10 million that he took directly from Saudi Arabia. So again, what do you think he's going to do as president? This is a guy, when he was running in 2016, he said over and over that, like, Saudi Arabia did 9/11. They are terrorists. This is the guy who ran against radical Islamic extremism, folks. Say the words. Say the magic words. And this guy who tried to do the Muslim ban, right? Total and complete shutdown of Muslims coming into the U.S. until we can figure out what the hell's going on. That's what he said. And then what did he do? He banned people from certain Muslim countries, but they were all, like, our enemy countries. And, of course, he just wanted, like, poor Muslims out of here. But the wealthy Muslims, if they're extremist and from Saudi Arabia, oh, that's cool. That's cool. So the dudes who financed 9/11, he's like, look, if you give me money, I can look over this whole 9/11 thing. It's really no big deal if you ask me about it. That's what's going on. This is insanity. This is insane. So what else are you going to give Saudi Arabia if you become president again? What are you going to do? You're going to give them a new, like, $200 million weapons deal? You're going to let them loot the treasury? What are you going to do? So we're going to snuggle up to a terror state, a terrorist theocratic dictatorship. We're going to snuggle up to them even more than we already are. None of this should be allowed, number one. Number two, it actually is probably illegal, especially when he's president. It's just the most obvious violation of the Emoluments Clause. He could be impeached immediately, and it could, he should be removed as a result of that. But I would love to see legal consequences over this stuff, man. I would love to see it. I need to see it. I need to see it. He's got all the other lawsuits he's dealing with, but, like, this is the one that always got under my skin the most is the corruption stuff. The story came out a few weeks ago. Trump is currently doing a multi-million-dollar deal with the government of Oman, again, as he's running for president. You can't do that. You can't do that. So now, again, and when you're president, he's got a list of all the people he owes favors to. Trump does. It's like in 2016, he got elected. He took $1 million for his inauguration from the predatory payday loan industry. Then as soon as he was president, one of the first things he did, he turned around, he dropped the new regulations that were supposed to go into effect against them, and he dropped the court cases against them. So this is the way the game is played. This guy is the ultimate insider. He's the ultimate establishment elitist. Again, as he rails against it, I'm going to drain the swamp. America first. And by America first, I mean Saudi first, Israel second, banks, military-industrial complex third, somewhere down the line, around number 17, is America. Incredible. Just incredible stuff. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.